A rebel, a challenger, a risk taker. The one who believes in the power of the underdog. Blazing his own trail, refusing to conform, daring to be great.
No mercy for you guys, man. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Doncic. As he loses one into Lively. Washington.
Dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Domination by the Mavericks.
Each chapter brings new challenges. We've defied expectations, shattered records, and redefined what it means to play for this city. This time, everything is up for grabs, and we always gonna stand on business.
What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Well, you see the background, so that'll tell you how I am.
Still a dumpster fire.
It will be a dumpster fire probably for the rest of the year, for not only the Mavericks but also for the Cowboys. I don't know where we're starting tonight, but I need to hit that at some point.
Well, let's I was thinking we could right off the jump do our poll, our new segment we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, kind of reveal those results. By the way, I didn't vote, and I didn't vote purposely because I did not want my vote to be revealed. That's why I didn't vote. So
okay.
I saw you voted.
I didn't vote last week because, like I said, it could have went either way last week. But I voted this week, and I have a reasoning for my vote.
Well, I kind of have for mine too, and so that's why I didn't I didn't vote. But I was thinking we do that. Talk a little bit of NBA, kind of like where things are at, and kind of something I wanted to do. I didn't even tell you. So the women's conference tournaments start. Technically, the first ones are Tuesday. The Sun Belt start, but like the SEC and everybody else kicks off Wednesday. So I was wanting us to pick the winner to come out of every conference. Just right off the jump, not even knowing who's playing. Who, just pick a team. We'll go through every conference and we'll pick a winner just based off of what we know and pick the winner to come out of the conference. Because obviously, when the tournaments come, when they actually drop the tournaments, we'll pick our. We're going to do a live. We're going to do a show with hopefully with the whole crew to do like an.
It could be two shows. Have a men's bracket and a women's. Yeah, I'm down. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start off with our poll, man. Oh, actually, let's run our ad for the evening, and then we'll start off with our poll.
All right.
All right, Derek, I'm gonna let you start off. So we'll actually reveal the results, but the poll this week comparison, we're still sticking with NBA. But I do want to say this: we're not just going to do NBA. It's just kind of the hot commodity right now. It's the NBA.
Yeah. We're gonna. I brought. What is it going to be? Wednesday night will be a women's basketball one.
Yes.
I don't care if you want to do the WNBA side of it or the college side of it, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it will be. But yeah,
so
let's
the
reveal the results.
It was 60-40 in favor of Vince.
Okay.
So not too bad. I thought it might have been a little bit
a little closer.
Mm-hmm. So I picked T-Mac. I mean, I think while Vince is very good, Vince is very good. I think a lot of his following and a lot of his claim to fame was his dunking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, don't get me wrong. He's a North Carolina guy. I liked Vince at North Carolina. I'm a Tar Heel by heart. That's like I said. I was a Tar Heel fan before I was a Cowboy fan, or before I was a Mavericks fan or an Aggie fan. Like, basketball was my first love, and it was North Carolina because that's who my dad watched. Yes, Brandon, that is exactly where the only difference. If I'm going off the what if factor. If Tracy McGrady is not injured, I'm going to tell you right now, Tracy McGrady would have went down as the number 3 shooting guard of all time. He would have been behind Michael, and he would have been behind Kobe. He was phenomenal. A great defender. Was a bucket. I don't know if you've seen that video. I don't know what the little YouTuber guy was, but he was kind of talking trash to Tracy, and Tracy said, and you're nothing but a YouTuber, and you're 24. That YouTuber was like, well, what were you doing at 24? Tracy said, I was averaging 30. Like,
I've seen that. Actually, I've seen that.
And if him and Grant Hill could have stayed healthy, that was it Grant Hill? I think so. Yeah, because that was when Grant and Tracy and Duncan were all going to team up. That would have been an amazing squad in and of itself. But if Tracy stays healthy, the sky would have been the limits for him. And again, I'm not taking anything from Vince. I think what he did in Toronto was good. What he did in New Jersey was good. What he did in Dallas was good. I hate when these great players start kind of bouncing teams. I hated that Vince ended in Atlanta. No offense to any Atlanta fans, but I hate that that's where he ended, because I think he was still chasing. I think he was still trying to stay in the show more or less. But that's the reason I went with Tracy.
I wish he would have finished in Toronto or the Nets, just because of what he did there.
Or Dallas. He was good in Dallas.
Or even in Dallas. Like, he played a long time too. He is the longest tenured player to ever play currently. Now, I think LeBron's probably going to pass him up, just because he's still playing at a high level. But Duncan and Dirk were like the 2 longest, and then Vince continued to play, and he's technically the longest tenured player. Seems like 40 is the number. People retire at 40, and LeBron isn't retired yet. I don't know when he'll retire, but it seems like in the 40s.
If it's when he catches Jordan, that's my thinking. I think it's when he catches Jordan in rings. I think he'll hang it up that night. I think he'll make a big announcement. So if that's the case, you're looking at like 2186. Year 2186, he'll hang it up.
He'll be in a walker, maybe a
another 140 years. He'll finally catch Jordan.
Oh so like I said, I didn't vote, but I'm actually right there with you, Derek. I picked T-Mac. The coulda, shoulda, wouldas, we would have never known. But when he like, I went back and looked at statistically at both these players. They're fairly close. T-Mac averaged 3 more points than Vince did. But if you look at the stats, T-Mac was more consistent with scoring throughout his career at the tail end of it when he was in San Antonio. He actually finished in San Antonio.
Yeah.
He was just there. I mean, he was averaging like 9 points a game. I mean, obviously the tail end of his career, but injuries hurt him. He's another one of those guys that if he doesn't get injured, who knows what he would have done. Like he was that good. T-Mac was insane. I remember him in Houston. Like,
yes,
so good. I mean, he was good in Orlando. I think when they got rid of Shaq, it was
like Penny. Penny Hardaway was there. Yeah,
that's another guy that I want to throw in a poll because he what coulda, shoulda, woulda been for him too.
Yeah.
But T-Mac was insane, man. He was a bucket getter. He played defensively. He was a very solid defender. I mean, I love Vince. I mean, again, this is another hard one. They were both phenomenal. But Vince was known mainly for the dunks. But like you said, in his early years of the Nets in Toronto, he was a bucket getter as well. I mean, he just got more inconsistent the longer he played, which, I mean, a lot of people do. I mean, everyone goes through that. I picked T-Mac. I think overall he was just slightly better. Even with the injuries, slightly better, but I think he would have been a lot better. Like you said, a top 3 shooting guard of all time if those injuries just don't hurt him like they did, because they hurt him big time. I mean, it's almost like he couldn't recover from them.
And one thing I liked about him was when he got traded from Toronto to Orlando in his 4th year, he went from 15 points a game. Now, him and Vince were playing together at this time, right? And you know that they're cousins. Everybody knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he went from 15 points a game. He made a jump to 26 points a game. He became the man, right?
Yeah,
he became that guy. And then he went to 25. Then he leaped to 32 points a game in 01-02. And then he kind of stayed there, 28, 25, 24, 24, 21. And then kind of the tail end of his Houston, that's when he started getting hurt, because he went from averaging, I'm going to say 73 to 75 games a year to his last 2 years in Houston. He played 35. He played 6. He played 24 games in New York. And the points just started going down and down and down and down and down. But yeah, that's it was. Yeah. Yep.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. When they were good, I would love to go on. Now I think they'd be a waste of time.
Yes, it would be a definite waste of time.
T-Mac for me, but I don't think you pick wrong if you go Vince either.
No.
We do these. I want them to be hard. I want you to think like, okay, like who really was better? Like, even like the Tim Duncan and Garnett one we did, like one was slightly better than the other, regardless of what statistics.
And I think it was what you were looking for, and I think it's the same here. Like if I think I think Vince was a slightly better team player than T-Mac. I think T-Mac was the alpha and wanted to be the alpha and wanted you to know he was the alpha. Yeah. Vince was, because you think of that Nets team, they had Kidd, Kenyon Martin, Jason Richardson, Kerry Skittles, Vince. So he wasn't the alpha. He might have been the best player, and he might have been the guy that was there. But T-Mac, everywhere he went, he needed to be the best. He was the best in Orlando. He was the best in Houston.
Until he got hurt.
And I kind of think that's why he didn't work in Toronto, because I think it was him or Vince. One of them had to be the guy. And I think it was the popularity of Vince back in his early years. Mm-hmm. That was going to sell the tickets. That was going to sell the jersey. That was going to – this could be a what if right here. What if these two guys stayed together? What if this is your small forward and your shooting guard of your team? So yeah, that.
Oh, here's a look at this one.
Yeah, I just seen that. Yep.
Stackhouse and Hill Stackhouse. Oof.
Steve Smith, or
Steve Smith, Robert Ory.
So Robert Ory, to me, I know he's got 7 rings. He would have to be mixed in there with some type of role player. That's who Robert Ory is to me. He's a role player. To me,
he was the best role player ever, like for real.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, he did what he needed to do. I
loved him when he was in everywhere he went. LA,
yeah,
San Antonio. He was always a great. He was the player you needed. He may not have given you a 20 and 10, but he may give you 10 and 15 rebounds, and he just did whatever he did. I mean, he did. But yeah,
so I don't know if Brandon just said he met Robert Ory. I don't know if Brandon was kind of following us or watching with us back when I said this, but I actually in 2007 I actually had Thanksgiving with Tim Duncan and them. My cousins were neighbors with him, and we were playing football in the backyard. Ball went over the fence. They threw it back and was like, "Hey, come over." And so we went over and had Thanksgiving with Tim Duncan. So that was pretty cool.
If I did that, man, I'd be taking 1,000 pictures. I'd be getting everything signed. I'd be getting my arms signed, my legs signed, anything I could, and taking pictures of it. That's so cool. All right, awesome, man. Well, let's talk about the NBA, just where everything is right now. I mean, we're 60 games in, so we got 22 games left with the regular season. Let's talk about the East. I mean, it's still kind of the same teams in a sense, but the one thing I want to really say is that I'm tired of hearing that Cleveland is not for real and they're just going to be a regular season team. They are 50 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say that about the Warriors when they were 72 and 10 at the end of the season, or whatever they were, 71 and 11, whatever they were. This Cleveland team is for real. And I want to say this, I don't know if people know this, but they tried to break this backcourt up of Cleveland a couple of years ago. They were trying to they weren't doing well, and they get, they were subpar, and they get Donovan Mitchell, which was, at the time we didn't know that Utah was even trying to rebuild. They had Gobert, they had Rudy Gay, which was at the tail end. I mean, I don't even think he plays anymore, but he was like subpar still, and they were, and then they let him go.
Not to kind of cut you off on that, but can we just for a second stop and think about the Utah Jazz for a minute on the teams that they have had, and I'm talking post Malone, you know what I mean, like Karl Malone and all of them.
They had post Malone.
Yeah. They had Rudy Gay, they had Carlos Boozer, they had Darren Williams. I mean, they had an actual squad. They almost reminded me of Memphis. That was like a grit and grind type team that they had. Mm-hmm. And they were amazing. But yeah, continue what you were kind of saying.
Yeah. About, I mean, what Cleveland did the other night against Boston, they were down 25-5. Okay, first quarter, and they came back and win the game by, it was, I think, close to 10 points. Maybe late, but it was a solid amount they came back and win by when you're down by 20 in the first quarter. I mean, that's a lead. I mean, that's a heck of a scoring only 5 points within half the quarter. It was rough starting out.
Big country. Yes, I do.
But I think that, for one, Cleveland's for real. So if anyone thinks Cleveland's not for real, you do not know basketball. You just don't. They're for real. They're a real team. They have a chance to compete for a championship this year. Boston, they're doing what Boston's been doing the last couple of years. New York, they can't beat nobody. They can't beat Cleveland, Boston, or they can't beat anybody in the West that's good. So New York is going to be New York. They're going to make the playoffs. They may win a game. They may win a series. I don't think they're going to go to the conference championship, in my opinion. Milwaukee, they're not going to do much. I mean, they'll make the playoffs. They've made a jump. Remember, they were in the bottom. They were at like 12 at one point, and they made a jump. It does suck that they lost. What's his name? Bobby Portis to that that suspension for 25 games. I mean, he's a heck of a ball player. As he's a hustle and grind it player. I love Bobby Portis. The most surprising team this year to me in the East is definitely the Detroit Pistons. I do not think
100%.
all this. Detroit is they're number 6. They could potentially, depending if they continue to do what they've been doing, they might be a top 4 team in the East when it's all said and done because they're only a game behind Indiana and Milwaukee, who are both tied at 4 and 5.
I'm gonna kind of go ahead and say this: if Detroit gets to a 4 seed, they're gonna upset somebody in the playoffs.
Well, they will because see, if they get a 4 seed, they'll play the 5th seed.
I'm talking one of the top 3.
You're talking about after the top, after the first round. Well, I think that they could definitely beat New York in a series. I'm not sure about Boston or Cleveland. I'm not going to go that far, but I would say New York and below they can beat in a series.
Yep.
Cade Cunningham is. You didn't really see how good he was until this year. Like he's been doing well since he's been there as a rookie, but like now that they have a team, he's flourished, man. He's a heck of a ball player. So that's
I think Golden State gave up on Jaden Duren a little too quick.
Way too early. Jaden Duren is a man. He was he got given to them, man. He was
for me, that's bad scouting on Golden State's part. Like that, he didn't fit their offense at all. They're a 3-pointers and getting up and down the court. Yeah, I understand you need a rim protector at number 2. Imagine if they took Melo Ball at number 2 instead of Jaden Duren. You know what I mean? Like that, he fit their scheme way better than Durham did.
And by the way, Detroit is the second best team in the last couple of weeks. They're 9-1 in their last 10, and Cleveland's the only other team better than them 10-0. So Detroit is up and coming. I'm curious to see where they finish. But everybody 7-10 through 7-10. I mean, sorry, I know Brandon's going to hate to hear this because his team's in that 9th spot. They're just not. I mean, Miami, Orlando, Atlantic, Chicago. I don't know what's going on with Orlando. They've really dropped. They were 4 for a while, and then they're down all the way down to 8.
I'm going to kind of throw a hot take out here for our Philly guys. If Philly makes the play-in without Embiid, he's gone this offseason.
I mean,
they'll shred that money. They'll get a plethora of picks or something. And not only really rebuild, but they don't need him. They've got a great backcourt with McCants and Maxey. They just need to add the pieces to it.
And to be honest with you, Derek, I think they at this point they should get rid of Embiid and Paul George. I think so.
Oh, absolutely. I think they both could potentially be gone. Paul George might stay around, but I think Embiid might be gone. Which I agree with Brandon. He should be gone anyway. Dude's hurt all the time. He's made $400 million and played 87 games in the past 4 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
you could pay me half. You could pay me half of that. I'd be good with it. All right, let's talk about the West. Obviously, you got OKC at the top. Denver's second. Denver's made a leap. You know, they didn't start off very hot. The last 2 years, they didn't start off hot, and then they've kind of come on. You got Lakers at 3, Memphis at 4, Houston 5, Clippers at 6, Golden State 7. Then you got Sacramento, Minnesota, Dallas. Dallas is all the way back down to 10.
Hey, just like I said, if Dallas misses the playoffs because of the trade and it helps the Lakers get LeBron another ring and not only tie Kobe but get close to Jordan, I'm done with them.
Well,
I understand that they are hurt and they're injured and they're just trying to stay afloat at the point right now. Like they're missing Gafford, they're missing Lively, they're missing AD. They're trying to stay afloat. But man, I don't know if it's going to happen. I think KD is going to come on. I know they're 3 back, but
Phoenix Phoenix is not no better.
No, they're not.
They can't beat nobody. Even with Durant and Bill and Booker playing, they struggle. I mean, at least Dallas can say we were missing half our team, and that's facts. And they're 6-4 in their last 10. I mean, I told you if they could stay 500 the rest of their games with everybody out, they'd be okay. Right now they're at a play-in, but here's the thing, Derek, is even at a play-in, they're not even far. They could still hop up to the 6th seed if they get healthy soon, because you got Minnesota in front of them. They're tied. You got Sacramento is 1 game ahead, Golden State 1 game ahead, and Clippers 1 game ahead. So like the West 6 through 10 is going to be very interesting on this last stretch of the season. But I want to say this, kind of talking about the whole Dallas and Lakers thing. This trade is looking a lot better for Dallas right now. I mean, not Dallas, Lakers right now, because AD is injured. It's looking better for them. They've crept up to the 3rd seed. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I know Luka hasn't been very efficient. I think that's simply because Luka's having to play a different role than he's ever played in his career, which is he can take the back seat if he wants to, because he does have another scorer on the team in LeBron. They have pieces around him that are okay. I mean, they're not the best players. You know, they have Rui Hachimura, which he's okay. I mean, he's not the best player, but they have Austin Reeves, and he's not bad. He can shoot the ball. But the Lakers have
Dalton Connect.
Dalton Connect. But see, here's the thing with that. With Luka coming on, he's had a lot of minutes taken from him. I'm not sure if something's going on with that. If that's just because I don't know. I'm surprised he's not playing as much. Man, I expect his minutes to drop a hair, but not like that. His minutes have been cutting almost in half since he's came back. But Lakers look good. Denver's looking good. Denver's looking good. Oklahoma City. I mean, man, I said this, but I'm gonna stick with it because I'm true to my word. I said Oklahoma City would go to the championship. I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna stick with that because I've already said I don't think they will now. I still think they're just too inexperienced. I mean, Shea is great. Jalen Williams, great. Wiggins, I mean, Chet is hurt again, right? So they're missing Chet right now. I don't know if they had to play a Denver or a Lakers in a series. I don't know if they win that series. I'm not sure if they would even beat a Memphis in a series. Maybe. So I don't know. I mean, obviously being number 1 seed, you're always going to have one home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, no matter who you play. So that's great. But I don't know, man. Like, how do you feel about Oklahoma City? Do you think they're locked to make it to the championship game, or you think their youth and their still that inexperience will catch up to them when they play a Denver or a Los Angeles team?
If they don't play Denver, they'll make it.
Okay. So they got
if somebody knocks Denver out, they will make it. And the reason I say that is because I think Denver can throw guys at Shea. I think they can put Michael Porter Jr. on him. I think they can put Murray on him. I don't think Oklahoma City has anybody that can match up with Jokic.
No, well, I don't.
There's very few, but I'm saying if I'm Denver and I'm going into a series against Oklahoma City, I'm putting Jokic on the block.
Oh yeah,
because they don't have the body to bang. Chet can't bang with Jokic.
Hartenstein can. He's bigger than Chet, but he still isn't going to slow him down because
right. And I think that's going to be a coaching move that needs to be done pre the series. I think that's kind of where they'll go.
Like the only teams I think that actually could match up with Denver in a series, just personnel wise, if you're looking at rosters, I know I'm probably throwing some crazy teams out there, but honestly, I think there's only 3 teams.
What's up, Terry?
Hey, Terry, how are you, man? The only teams I think that could match up with them just personnel wise when it comes to Jokic personally, because that's the main one you have to worry about. The Memphis, because you have a big Zach E. I'm not saying Zach Edey's going to, but he's big body. He can bang with him. I'm not saying he's going to stop him, but he's the big frame body. You have Minnesota and Rudy Gobert. Again, not your scorer, but defensively can bang with them. And then the other team is Dallas because they have multiple big men that could bang.
They have multiple big, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
And right now, Denver's sitting at 2. They would get the 7th. They would get the 7th seed. So, Dallas may not even have to face them. So, even Sacramento maybe with Sabonis. I don't know. Maybe Sabonis. Defensively he's okay. Offensively would be a pretty decent matchup for Jokic. Wear him down a little bit, but there's only a handful of teams that are built to beat the Denver Nuggets when it matters. And those 3 teams I think are. So while we're still here talking about this, any change on your MVP? Well, I think I picked Shea. I think he'll get it, but I think Jokic is the more deserving based off of his statistic numbers.
So that's what I was just looking up while we were talking. So here's where we're sitting at. Shea's averaging 32 a game. Jokic is averaging 29.5. So we can just say 30, right? Jokic has 10 assists a game. SGA has 6.2. Jokic is averaging 12 boards, which points, assists, and boards, Jokic is top 5 in all those categories. Shea is 19th in assists as a point guard. He's leading the league in scoring. And then steals. This is where I think it's going to favor Jokic. I think this is where Jokic wins it. Shea is averaging 1.9 steals. Jokic is averaging 1.8 as a center.
Wow.
I think
That's
that
crazy.
is going to be the determining factor. And it's crazy because as good as Shea has been this year, he has a young team that he is carrying. Not carrying, because they've got a bunch of pieces. They've got Caruso and they've got Wiggins and Chet. And, they've got a great team. They're probably I would say besides Cleveland, they're the deepest team.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
Dort. I love Dort. He's a great defender.
Lou Dort. Was it Williams or Williamson, something like that?
Yeah, Jalen Williams. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're deep, just like Cleveland. But I think the steals is what's going to favor it towards Jokic. Now that would be who I would give it to. Now the NFL, the NBA is going to be like, well, we're tired of Jokic getting it, even though he's top 5 in 3 of the major categories, or 4 of the major categories. I'm sorry, because he's even top 5 in steals. Like he's like 4th in steals, 3rd in rebounds, 3rd in assists, and 5th in points. So he's top 5 in every major category. But I think just of the number 1 seed is going to feather it towards Shea, unless Denver gets it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
it's between those two. There's no doubt. There should be.
I don't think he's having better number. Jokic is having better numbers now than he had when he won his last 2.
Yes, which is insane.
I think SGA. I think Oklahoma City is still my favorite to get to the finals, as long as they don't run into Denver. And if they do, then Denver will make it over them. And I think, without question, they meet Cleveland.
Yeah, I think Cleveland's coming out the East, personally.
And I would love nothing more than for Cleveland to win a title and Donovan Mitchell say, I've been here 3 years and I won a title. LeBron, you were here for 17 years and only won 1, and I won 1 in 3 years. Put me a statue out there. Put me a statue out there. If LeBron's statue is 10 foot, I want a 10-foot 3-inch statue out there.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, let's make the switch to college. Let's do this women's picks I wanted to do. So I got the standings pulled up here. If you need to get them pulled up, you can. We're just going to go through
the rankings.
just the standings. Go to the standings, and the first one should be American Sun Conference or American Sun Conference, I think, or Atlantic Sun Conference. I'm not sure. It's just a Sun Conference. I just want to go through each conference and let's just pick who you have winning that conference because I know the tournaments are coming up, but I want to pick winners of these based off of just what we're looking at, what we know about these teams. And some of them we're not going to know anything about just because we don't know what school they are.
You say Atlantic 10, right?
Well, I just pulled up the standings and it has all of them on here.
But we're on A10 right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, who's the first team on that list? I'll make sure we're on
Richmond.
The same one. Okay.
The Richmond Spiders.
Okay. I'll jump down to that one.
What's the first one on yours?
Mine says the A-Sun Conference.
The Atlantic Sun?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can go there first.
Should be Florida Gulf Coast Eagles.
Yeah, they're going to win it. They're 18-0, best team in that conference.
I mean, I remember.
I don't know a lot about it, but I remember the Gulf Coast boys, the Dunk City.
I remember when the boys and the girls both were like that one year. They both made runs.
Yeah,
I can't remember what year it was, but yeah, I think based off of just here, I would pick Florida Gulf Coast. They've won 20 straight. I mean, they don't lose at home. They don't lose it. I mean, period. They've only lost 3 games all year. I would pick Florida Gulf Coast in that one as well.
They're on a 20-game winning streak.
Yeah. I mean, and that's insane. It's got to be one of the hottest teams in women's. I mean, again, they're in a conference that no one probably talks about.
Yeah.
But those are the teams that I like watching because those are the ones that are going to upset the teams we know about. Like,
yes,
I mean, seriously,
yes,
because they don't play it. This Florida Gulf Coast team could be very identical to. I'm trying to think of someone like UCLA. Like, what if they're as good as UCLA girls? I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying like they're like that. They could beat a team like that.
That's why the tournament is again. And I've said this numerous times on numerous shows. If I can only watch one sporting event for the rest of my life, I would get rid of football. I would get rid of college football. I would get rid of the NBA. I would get rid of the season of college basketball. And starting in March, I would take a month and a half off, and I would watch all of it. I would watch every single game that I could watch of March Madness. That is my favorite because the 16 seed beats the 1 seed. The 11 seed goes to the Final Four. That's multiple upsets for the 11 seed to make that run. I love it.
This Florida Gulf Coast team could be an 8, 9, 10 seed. Like they could.
Yes.
And they're going to upset people. It's going to happen. All right, let's talk about the American East. Obviously, the Albany Great Danes, they are 24-5. They're the top of that conference. Again, don't know much about the conference in general. The next best team is the Vermont Catamounts at 18-12.
Yeah.
Again, with this one, I'm going to take Albany Great Danes to win that conference. And obviously, they'd get an automatic bid. I like it. I mean, again, I don't know who Albany Great Danes are, but they are a solid team. I
think on these smaller conferences, I think it's safe.
It's pretty clear cut.
Yeah. Even though we don't watch it enough.
This next one's gonna be good. So let's just hop down to the American Athletic Conference. So you got UTSA Roadrunners 23-5, North Texas Mean Green 22-7, South Florida Bulls 20-10. That's the top 3.
Where are you at? Oh,
American Athletic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off of a limb. Okay, I was going to pick UNT. I want to pick them, but what makes me not want to pick them is when I look at their away record, they're not very good. So they're a really good home team, and they don't play well away. Well, the conference championship's not going to be in North Texas. So because of that, and I see their road record and how they don't favor well away, because like out of their 7 losses, 6 of them were away. So they're not a very good away team. So with that being said, I will pick the UTSA Roadrunners, which is really surprising. They are balling. I saw some video of them playing the other day. They are good, man. Them girls are good. Again, this UTSA team, this Albany Great Danes team, the Florida Gulf Coast, they're going to beat those teams, man. It's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. Like, and that's what I love about college basketball. I mean, March Madness March in general is the most exciting month of any football. I mean, basketball. Yeah. It is. It's so exciting. All right, let's go down to the Atlantic 10 Conference. Richmond Spiders are at the top of that.
Give me Richmond. 26-5, 11-1 away. 11-1. They lost more home games than they did away games. They're on a 16-game winning streak. I'm going Richmond.
All right, I'm gonna pick the opposite because I like doing that every now and again. I'm gonna go George Mason Patriots. They're 24-5, 14-1 at home. They're 10-3 away. They've lost a couple more away. I'm gonna go George Mason and win that conference there. Now this one's gonna get good. This is where we're getting into the good ones. Like, this is the conference we know about, the ACC.
So I don't know if you know this, but Notre Dame beat North Carolina State today.
They did.
They split the regular season championship because they beat each other.
So who you have winning it?
Oh,
I think I got to go Notre Dame here.
I think I'm going to go Notre Dame as well.
I've got to go Notre Dame. I mean, but man, I don't know though. Like, I mean, I look at North Carolina, I look at the Duke girls, like they're right there.
I think in conferences like this, what I look at the AP and the US poll. So Notre Dame's 8-3 against the AP poll, 7-3 against the US poll. So I think that's what's going to separate it for me. As far as Notre Dame, I think Haduko or whatever her name is, the fluffy-haired chick from Notre Dame. Dude, she is unbelievable. And I think Notre Dame's going to be scary. I actually have Notre Dame going to my Final Four.
Oh,
so I can go ahead and I go ahead and plug that. But I do have North. I won't get into all that topic shit. We'll wait on that. But yeah, I have Notre Dame winning the ACC as well.
Okay, let's go down to the Big 12. I have a feeling that based off of what I know, and what I see from this team, I'm going with TCU.
100%.
Haley Van Lith is balling.
6-2
TCU
versus in the AP poll, and for the first time ever, the Big 12 championship came down to the final game between TCU and Baylor. Winner got it. TCU won 51-48. Just went final.
Oh, wow. They just went final like tonight?
Like 30 seconds ago.
Wow. Baylor has made a jump, though. Baylor started off really kind of like they were okay. Which Baylor's good every year. They've been good for very long. I mean, Baylor could squeeze this out. They're on a 9-game winning streak. Obviously, they just lost, so it ends. But I mean, Haley Van Lith, she almost took a back seat last year at LSU because of what they had.
That's what hurt her. She went from potentially setting all the records at Louisville to chase the championship at LSU, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out for him. She found a home at TCU and is thriving.
When she was at Louisville, she was balling. And then when she went to LSU, everybody was like, wait, what? Why? Yeah. And then now she's at TCU and just absolutely balling. I mean, TCU. I think it's between TCU and Baylor. But I'm going to give the edge to TCU basically because Haley Van Lith is just – we are seeing the Haley Van Lith of old. Like I said, she took a back seat last year to win that championship.
Like they're 6-2 against ranked teams, so they can win ranked games.
This next one, I think, is a no-brainer. I mean, there's just no vote needed. UConn is going to smoke everybody because they've murdered Creighton both times they've played, and Creighton's the next best team.
Yep.
It's definitely going to be UConn in that one. So there's
I agree with you on that 100%.
Buckers and Fudge, and I mean they're just they're I mean there's nothing to talk about there. That's pretty. All right, the Big Sky. We're going to get in some crappy ones again, but the Big Sky Conference.
You mean Northern Arizona?
I was going to pick them too. Northern
11
Arizona.
11-5
Yeah, they're
on
11-5 away.
6-game win streak.
They're 11-5 away. They're 11-1 at home, so they're a very good road team. They're a good road team. So I would pick the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks to win that conference based off of what I know. Big South Conference. Oof. I'm gonna go.
I don't even know, bro.
Me neither. But I'm gonna go the Longwood Lancers.
You going Longwood? I'm going High Point.
Longwood. Okay, you go High Point. Perfect. That means hopefully we'll.
Somebody got to win it, right?
Big Ten. This is gonna be this is a tough one, man. This is a really tough one. You have UCLA, USC, and Ohio State. I would say would be the top three to potentially win that. I mean, you have Juju Watkins. They just smoked UCLA. I think they both beat each other. If I'm right, I could be wrong on that. But I think they split the series. But man, what Juju has done this year, I mean, she did it last year. But what she's doing this year again, I'm not gonna. Okay. I'll go USC. You go UCLA.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because just what you said, Juju Watkins. That's all you said about UCLA. I mean about USC.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to make a run where you're playing a game a day for a week and a half and then go straight into a tournament and playing the same thing with one player carrying you. It's going to wear her down. Now, granted, they've got two other players averaging double figures. One's averaging 18, one's averaging 10. But everybody else is like massively low. UCLA only has two players in double figures, 19 and 13. But then they've got a 9-5, an 8-5, an 8. They're more balanced.
They're more team oriented. Their play is more team. Like UCLA, it's Juju and then whoever else can score.
Yeah. So one game, I think Juju had 56 or 54, and the team only had 79. Like she's not going to be able to get those numbers up.
Playing against when the tournament comes, things change. I mean, it starts to wear you down. I mean, it does. I'm not knocking. She's a fantastic ball player. She'll, assuming she'll come out, she'll be a top 3 pick in my opinion, maybe a top 5. I don't know, who else will come out. I mean, we know we have Paige, we got Fudd, we have all these.
Well, you have to wait 4 years in girls basketball. You
do?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, she ain't coming out then. She's only a sophomore. Never mind. She's going to be there for 2 more years. Okay. Big West Conference. This is going to be a shout out to Brandon. His Hawaiian Rainbow.
Hawaii. That's who I'm taking. I'm taking them.
He's been talking about them. They almost made the top 25 and then they just lost the other night. Hawaii is really he keeps telling me how good this team is. They're a good team, man. They're 20-8. I think they'll win this conference, and I think they'll they'll get in the tournament. So I like that. I like that team.
Yep, I'm with you.
All right, the Coastal Athletic Association.
Hang on, you're on Coastal?
Coastal Athletic Association.
Okay.
Man, again, don't know much about this.
Drexler.
I was going to say Drexel as well.
Yeah.
They're 12-2 at home. They're not the best away team. But I don't know. I think I'm just going off a gut.
Yeah,
I'm just going off a gut here.
Before.
So Conference USA. Man, I wish Kennesaw State was up there, but they're not.
Give me Liberty. Give me Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty. I like Liberty in this one too. I mean, Middle Tennessee. Again, I haven't watched any of these teams, but well, I don't know. Middle Tennessee's on 11-game win streak. They're a great home team. They're a great away. All right, I'm gonna go Middle Tennessee. You go Liberty. I like that. Let's see. Oh my God, why is there so many conferences? Why can't we just have like a few?
Yeah.
All right. Horizon. Ooh.
Give me Green Bay.
Give me Purdue, Fort Wayne. I'll give me
Green Bay's on a 19-game winning streak.
Never mind. Give me Green Bay. I didn't see that.
11-2 away, 13-2 at home. I love it.
Yeah, Green Bay. Man. What? Give me Princeton in the Ivy League. I don't know what it is about Princeton basketball, but between the boys and girls, I feel like they always have a team in the tournament every year.
Give me Harvard, 11-2 on the road.
Oh, you're going Harvard. Okay, I like it. All right.
The MAC action, baby. Maction. Well, this ain't the
MAC.
Going? This is the MAAC. Let's go.
Dang,
Quinnipiac?
man.
Quinnipiac? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Quinnipiac. I think I'm going to go Quinnipiac, too. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me Fairfield. They're on an 18-game win streak.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, give me Fairfield. Fairfield Stags. Sounds good to me.
Mid-American. Here's the MAC, baby. Here is the MAC. Give me Buffalo. 10-3 away. Yep. 23-5. The best record in the MAC. They're 23-5. They got the best record. They're sitting third, but they've got the best record, and they are 10-3 on the road. Give me the 3 seed to win it.
Give me Toledo. I want Toledo.
Okay.
Actually, no. I change it. Give me Ball State. Toledo's not a good away team, and I mean, yeah, give me Ball State on that one. Norfolk State Spartans.
That's Norfolk State. That's who I got as well.
Yeah, they're 14-game win streak. They're 10-2 away, 13. I mean, they're undefeated at home. Yeah, give me Norfolk State.
Give me Murray State in the MVC.
Every time I hear Murray State, I just always think Ja Morant. Every time.
Ja.
Man, I mean Ja.
Mountain
Murray
West.
State. Ooh, yeah. Give me UNLV. I'm gonna take
UNLV.
UNLV on that. Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that.
Northeast Conference. Ooh, this ain't even. I mean, this is Fairhide Dickinson Knights. Ain't nobody else even remotely close. That's an easy one there. Let's see. Ohio Valley Conference. Lindenwood Lions, Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles.
Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, I mean, they're just the better of our team. Linwood's terrible away. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Tennessee Tech's won 15 straight.
Pac-12.
Give me. Oh, you're on Pac. Oh, okay, you're Pac-12. Hold on.
Yeah, that was my next one.
Pac-12. Where is it at? For what?
was trying to prove something to you.
Okay. Sorry. I don't even see the Pac-12 on mine. Why is it not on here?
Oh, Pac-12. There's no Pac-12. Never mind. It's Patriot League.
All right, give me Army Black Knights. I don't know. Army, I want to talk about Army again, so give me Army.
Give me Lehigh.
Okay.
They upset number 2 Duke when they were a 15th seed.
All right, here we go. SEC.
The big one. Did you hear what happened here? Did you hear what happened here today?
I heard it was a coin flip, which I don't believe.
It's a coin flip.
So, of course, South Carolina gets that. But who you going here?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Give me the Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh, God. All right. Well, you already know I'm going. I'm going my Texas Longhorns. Kentucky. You must know something about Kentucky girls I don't know about.
Did you watch the Kentucky South Carolina game today?
I did not.
It was back and forth the whole game. Okay, I'm talking the whole game. With 3 minutes left, they South Carolina got a block, went down, made a layup, went up 3. Kentucky struggled after that. The last 3 minutes of the game, then they kind of started fouling, making free throws, stuff like that. So give me Kentucky to grow from this game and go forward.
Okay. You take Kentucky. I take Texas.
There you go.
All right. Southern Conference. Well, this is a no-brainer. The UNC Greensboro Spartans or the best team, and that's just, there's just no conversation there.
Yep.
All right. The Southland Conference. You have Southeast Louisiana Lady Lions at 25-4. They're a great home team, a great away team. Give me them. I wanted to go Lamar, but I look at that away game and that away. When I look at these away records, it just that stuff matters, man. I want to talk about that for a second. Isn't it crazy how you're the same basketball team, you play in all these places, but you just always find a way to be better at home?
Yeah.
Do you think that's just based off the crowd? Do you think a crowd has?
Yeah. So the theory is you're down 10 points when you play away right out of the gate. Like it's already 10-0 because of the crowd, because of the atmosphere or whatever. So you go into a game down 10-0. So it's almost like you're battling the whole game just to try to catch back up. So who did you pick here?
I picked the Southeastern Louisiana Lady Lions.
Give me SFA.
Ooh.
10-4 on the road, 12-game winning streak.
SFA Lady Jackets. Shout out to SFA, man.
26-5.
No, okay, I like that. I like that pick. Southwestern Atlantic Conference. Give me Alabama A&M Bulldogs.
I'm with you.
They're a great away team. I know the team above them was on a 7-game win streak, but look, their away record's not very. They do not play well away from home.
Yep.
They're a great home team, and they're 6-13. So overall, there's not the best. They were just better in conference play. They to me it looks like they weren't very good pre-conference, and then they just played. They played conference and they just kind of blew it up. The Summit League. Dude, what is up with South, man? These Dakota teams, football, basketball, they're just always up there, man. I don't know how they do it.
South Dakota, give me South Dakota State.
Oh, 16. Man, I was about to pick remember when Oral Roberts' boys made a run a couple years ago?
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, man, these are I love these regular our Big 12s, the SEC, the ACC. I love the Summit League. I love these conferences more because there's teams are that good. They're just not known because of the conferences they're in.
I would love to see 4 Summit League teams in the Final Four. Like, even though they beat my team, I would love to see. I love to see that kind of stuff.
I love to see the underdogs in the Final Four. I love it.
Yeah.
But give me Oral Roberts.
Okay.
Give me Oral Roberts. The next one, not really. James Madison. They're
Madison, no
head and heels above
question.
everybody. Ooh. Okay. This next one's gonna be the West.
Give me GCU. Give me Grand Cayman.
Okay. I'll pick them too.
5-game winning streak. 8-2 on the road. Let me have them. Let's see this. Let's see.
Wow.
Hang on. They only lost by 16 to Oregon at Oregon. Yeah, give me Grand Cayman. They were ranked. Oregon was 22nd.
What about the West Coast Conference? Gonzaga should be at the top.
Yeah.
Give me Portland. I'll take Portland.
I'll take Gonzaga.
They're a great away team.
Yeah, give me Gonzaga.
All right. I love it. All right, that's all of them, man. Great
that's all
picks,
that one, yeah.
That's awesome. The boys.
We'll definitely we'll do what next?
We'll do something like that for the boys. No, I still got a couple more weeks of the boys, I think, until they start.
Well, I'm talking about for bracket time. It'd be
it's 2 weeks. We're about 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away before the brackets. I was just looking it up because I was trying to figure out. It's March like 13th or I can't remember what day it was. It's something around mid March. So Well, let's now. Let's see. Let's talk about some of the men's. I mean, the men's are still. They're not even close to starting conference play yet. Let's kind of. I want to talk about some of these games. What day was it? I think it was. Yeah, it was actually yesterday. Auburn beat up on Kentucky. Auburn is so good, man.
Yeah, they are.
Auburn is good,
when they
man.
beat Bama, they solidified themselves as the number one team in the nation.
Duke clobbers Florida State. I mean, as should. Man,
Bama lost again on a nail biter.
They did. I actually thought A&M was going to beat Florida yesterday.
A&M, this is typical Texas A&M. Same in football, same in basketball. You sit up there and you sit up there and you sit up there, and then you lose one or two games, and then you're just like, screw it. Let's just bomb the season. I think they think that if they lose, they get the number one prospect in the country. Like NFL, you get the number one draft pick, you get the number one prospect, but you don't. You don't. It makes you look
It's actually the opposite in college.
It's the complete opposite.
St. John's is still man. I love this St. John's team. I think if they have a really good chance to go really far in the tournament, the big tournament. I love this team. Patino has these guys.
I have three teams outside the top five that I think can make a serious run. I think St. John's can make a run. I think Iowa State can make a run. And I think number 8, Michigan State can make a run. Michigan State is playing so well right now.
Jace Richardson. Let me tell you about this kid. He was getting some minutes, but their point guard got hurt. In his first game starting, he went nuts, and he hadn't stepped out of that starting role ever since. He's a great ball handler. He's a great scorer. He's a little bit on the smaller side. He's a baller. Yep, he has kind of brought Michigan State back to being irrelevant in college basketball again.
Yep.
When you have Tom Izzo, you're always going to have a team, and they're always make the tournament, but they've been kind of getting beat out last couple of years. But they are legit contenders to really make a run at this thing. Another team I like, Derek, and you're going to like this, that I think is really good. I think they have a shot to maybe go pretty far. I like Clemson, man. This Clemson basketball team looks really good. I mean, obviously matchups matter. But I mean, again, also look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, I mean, they're not great in SEC play, but they beat Missouri yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying they're going to make a run.
Got to do a lot of work to even make the playoffs. They gotta make a deep run in the ACC tournament to even have a shot.
Mm-hmm. The boy, man, St. Mary's is up there. They are 27-4, and they're only number 23 in the nation. That's how deep these college teams are this year. Man, I cannot tell you how excited I am for. I can't tell how excited I am for this tournament this year. I want to ask you about one team, and you hold on. Oh, I was looking at a player. I thought it was like an ex-NBA player's son, but I just had to look at that. What do you think about Memphis? Does Penny Hardaway? He for the last couple of years, he's been like trying to get his team to really do well. I mean, they're 14-2 in play. They're 24-5 overall. Does he finally have the team to make a run this year, like a legit run? Could they upset somebody? Or is this a team that's kind of just like, I mean, they lost to Arkansas. So I want to talk about their loss. They lost to Auburn, of course, right? Mm-hmm. Then they take a bad loss to Arkansas State. Obviously, that's a terrible loss. Then they lose to Mississippi State. I mean, it's an SEC team, but still, it's probably a team. That's
a ranked team, Mississippi State.
Yeah. Then they lose to Temple. Probably, I mean, again, I don't know much about Temple, but just based off of what we know about Temple athletics,
Mike
probably
said
not.
Texas Tech. Yes, Mike. Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is great as
sneaky good
well.
Team as well.
Texas
I'm gonna
Tech's
tell you
really
about
good.
Memphis. Do you know who Memphis played before they lost to Auburn?
Michigan State,
But before that,
UConn.
they beat UConn and Michigan State in back-to-back weeks, back-to-back
They did.
games. I'm sorry, back-to-back nights, back-to-back nights.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I think they can make a run, maybe a Sweet 16, depending on bracket,
Mhm.
depending on
Their
kind of where
matchup?
their matchup, maybe where they're seated.
Mhm.
Because you're going to play a game, you're going to be off a night, you're going to play a game. So yeah, I really do think they can make them a small run.
Speaking
I think
of Texas
I
Tech,
think Arizona could make a small run.
Texas Tech is really good, by the way. They
Oh,
finished
yeah.
second in the Big 12. They're really well as of right now. It's not over, but they're Texas Tech's really good this year. You know who their coach is, right?
No.
So, his name is Chris Baird. He was at Texas. Remember? Then he got like he came. I think that's their coach, or maybe that's not their coach. Hold on. Let me don't lie to you real quick. I'm pretty sure that's their coach, or he might have been at Texas Tech before. I could be lying. Let me look him up real quick. I'm pretty sure that's who their coach is, though. Oh, here it is. No, so he was at Texas Tech, left and went to Texas. He's actually at Ole Miss right now, but he got released from Texas. I forgot what happened, and they're atrocious this year as well. The Texas Longhorns basketball team is not good. But Texas Tech, they were good when he was there, and I don't remember why he left for Texas. I think that's right when who's the coach for Marquette? I can't think of his name. Shaka Smart.
Yeah.
That's when he left and went to. Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's this weekend.
He's at Marquette.
Yes, he's at Marquette, and Marquette's really good. They've had some games they've slept off, but Michael said Memphis is undisciplined. I could actually see them losing a first-round game. Maybe beat them today, and they played with no energy. I mean, you're right though. I mean, you're right. Memphis could lose. Oh, they won today. Sorry, they won today. It was Wichita State that beat them a few days ago. Man, I remember when Wichita State had Doug. No, that was Creighton. I remember Wichita State used to be good. Well,
Sometimes it's those undisciplined teams. I think of Florida Gulf Coast. I think of they weren't disciplined. I mean, they were just run and gun. That was how they played, and they made that run. I mean, they had to have some kind of discipline, but I think they were more or less just kind of run and gun with it.
I completely agree. Okay, So yeah, great things going on there. Let's talk about the big news in the NFL this weekend that I don't think we all expected to happen. The first big trade of the offseason. Your thoughts on the Deebo Samuel going to Commanders for the Commanders get Deebo and the 49ers just get a 5th-round pick, and that was the trade. That's all. I mean, what are your thoughts on that trade?
We traded a 4th-round pick to Carolina for Mingo or whatever. Mingo. So you're telling me for a later pick, we could have got a better player? Man, you see the background. Dumpster fire. It's still burning. I actually called and got rid of all of the fire hydrants around my house so nobody can put this dumpster fire out because I want it to burn. I want it to just burn and burn and burn and burn and burn. And what really makes me mad is not only are we not doing anything to improve, there are reports of great things that could line up and actually happen.
For the Cowboys?
for the Cowboys, but they
Okay.
won't. I've seen a Cooper Kupp rumored trade to Dallas, and I've seen us drafting Ashton Genty. So Dak, Genty, Lamb, Kupp. I love that. I love that. That's smart.
But will it
No,
happen?
It will not. It will not. And I'm
Right.
going to tell you why. I think we go defense in the first round. I think we go defense.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
I think it's defense, O-line.
I agree with you with the O-line for sure.
I think we get the Iowa running back in the second round if he's there. If not, we take one of the boys from Ohio State.
'Cause
I
they're
love
both
that.
Good.
They're both good. I think that is phenomenal choice. Whichever one falls to us, if we don't go Genty in the first. I've been seeing that we're going to go safety from South Carolina in the third. Love that as well. Help the secondary.
Did you see who the Cowboys signed? The defensive end they just signed?
They franchised him.
No, the defensive end that the Cowboys just signed.
Oh no.
They signed ex-Jets defensive end Carl Lawson. Don't know who that is, but I mean, I don't know.
Carl Lawson was from Clemson, I believe. I did see we threw a franchise tag on somebody.
So the Cowboys just signed Carl Lawson. They just traded with New York Giants for defensive tackle Jordan Phillips. So the Dallas just got two defensive lineman players. I mean, it's great we're getting people. But here's what I don't get, man.
But who are we get? That's the problem. Like we got that Mingo dude, and we didn't even do nothing with him. We got Zeke, didn't do nothing with him. We got Dalvin Cook, didn't do nothing. You can get all these. We can go out and get Charles Haley, but if he ain't gonna do anything, it's just a waste of time and a waste of money.
It is, and you know, I mean, we haven't even talked about another defensive player we could get, Myles Garrett. You know, where does he end up? You know, the Cowboys could get him, but they're not going to.
No. He'll go to Washington or
Philly. Who knows?
Philly, yeah. He'll go somewhere where we have to play him for like a 7th round pick. And Jerry will be like, "That's too high. I didn't want to spend our 7th round pick because we need to save that for a field goal kicker or a punter because we're going to be punting a lot."
How do you feel about this? I don't think these players would be there. I think they're going to get drafted too early. I'm not saying like first round, but too early. But Texas Longhorns again had the fastest wide receiver this year in the combine.
I would love Golden.
Golden ran a 4.29, and Isaiah Bond ran a 4.4. What if Dallas found a way to get either one of those? What do you think about those? I mean, I think Golden would be the better option, but again, I don't think he's going to be around where you would want to pick.
I'm going to tell you the gem in the wide receiver draft. That is Nash out of San Diego State. He led the country in receiving yards. He is not projected to go above the 5th round.
What?
He is going to be the steal of the wide receiver draft.
Whoever gets him, he's a super steal.
If we go wide receiver in the first round, it's got to be Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be an absolutely. I'm gonna tell you right now. You want to have an offense, no matter the offensive line, no matter the defensive the side of the ball. If you want to have an offense that can score, go get you a receiver, and then go get you a running back in the second round, and then fill in the pieces. Say, hey, we're going to score, and we're going to figure it out. Because now you've got 2 wide receivers that those lines, you're not going to be able to put 7 in the box. Because we got people that can catch the ball now. We got playmakers.
Let me tell you something I didn't realize with Dallas. Dallas, I think I understand the struggles at offensive line. Outside of just they weren't good, is Dallas's offensive line is actually really young. I didn't know that. Like,
or Luther Burden, from Missouri. Well, I love that pick as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, their offensive line. I'm just going to tell you how long they've been in the league. You have a guy that's been there 2 years, 4 years, 2 years. One was a rookie last year. Their longest tenured offensive lineman is 6 years. You got Tyler Smith, 3 years. Tyler Gutton was a rookie last year. Asmund Richards, 2 years. Terrence Steele, 5 years. And Matt, whoever that is, 3 years. So they're actually young offensive line.
But see, that's something that hurts us too.
It does. Oh, it does.
You may tell you who you should go out and call. Give the 49ers a call and say, hey, what do you want for Trent Williams? You want a third-round pick? We'll send it. And yeah, he's old. He's probably got 2 years left. But he is the best left tackle in football. That gives you 2 years to figure something out on the left tackle side.
Your left tackle's got to be your best offensive lineman. It's your blind
100%.
side. Unless you're left-handed, which left-handed, so you want your right tackle. But our left tackle last year was Tyler Gutton, and he was terrible. He just was a rookie. I mean, just inexperienced. I mean, I know Trent Richards has a year or two left, but the dude is still solid.
Yeah.
I wish they would go out and get an offensive lineman. If you're not willing to draft one in the first round that can help you win next year or help your offensive line, I think the route is to either go free agency or trade. Because, how many draft picks you get? How many does Dallas have? A lot. I mean, why are we not using – why do we want to draft a wide receiver in the 7th round that probably will be on the practice squad when we could trade that and get an offensive lineman that would probably come in and help? I'm not sure who, but I'm just saying, when you start thinking about these picks, you got to start thinking about, okay, what can we do this next year with this pick to make us better next year? Is it drafting someone, or is it really going out and getting someone and trading for that person?
Yeah.
Whoever that is. But Dallas, they don't have that. I feel like they don't have that mindset. They're just like, oh, we just draft and we're going to use these players and they're going to make us better.
To me, if there's not a guy at 12 that you're in love with, whether it be Genty or whether it be Luther Bird or whether it be, if you don't love the skill position guy at that spot, trade back. Trade back, get you some draft capital, and then get you an offensive lineman. I think
completely agree.
This sounds so crappy, but I understand you need an offensive lineman. I understand. I completely get that. But I think the top 15 of the draft should never be an offensive lineman.
I agree.
They are a plethora. And the reason I say that, you've got 5 of them on the field at a time. Okay, mm-hmm. So if you get 2 or 3 off of Oklahoma and 2 or 3 off of LSU, you're looking at 70 or 80 offensive linemen coming in the draft versus a running back where there's only 1 or 2 maybe coming per team. So now you're looking at 20 running backs versus 70 offensive. You're going to find an offensive lineman. You're going to find a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. Now I wouldn't trade crazy. I wouldn't go from 12 to second round, the 5th pick. I would do nothing stupid like that.
But Dallas would, though.
I'm
just saying. Yeah. Yes, I'm saying our team would do that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, though. By the way, I'm just throwing this out there because I would want to talk about this next Sunday. I know we don't talk about this stuff a lot, but I do like it. There is a really good UFC fight next weekend, and I want to put this out there that I want to talk about it. It's Alex Pereira, and I cannot think of this other. I can't even pronounce it. He's it's Anklaviv or something. Dude, let me tell you, this fight is going to be so good. I'm telling you, if Derek, I know you're not into MMA, probably. I'm not into it a lot.
Not really.
So when you get a chance, just go look up Alex Pereira on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Just go look him up. Look at his backstory. The dude is insane. He has a fight coming up this weekend. I'm super excited about it. I'm actually going to pay for it. I usually don't pay for pay-per-views, but this is one I will pay for because this fight is going to be really, really good. And I definitely want to talk about it next Sunday because he's like, outside of John Jones and I love Alex Pereira, man. He's a beast, but I know I shifted something real quick, but it keeps popping
No,
up
you're
on
good.
my ESPN. I'm like, dude, I've got to mention this. I really want to talk about it. So let's see. Let's talk a little bit about spring training. So let's see here. I'm trying to pull up. Okay. Our Texas Rangers started off terrible. They did.
Mm-hmm.
They have finally won some games. So I'm trying to pull it. Oh, okay, here we go. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So the first game they lose to Kansas City 5-2. Kansas City, we talked about them. Kansas City, like they're going to be a little better than they're in that division there. That's like we said anyone could win it. So they lose to KC, they lose to the Giants, and they lose to the Cubs. Then they finally beat your White Sox team, and then they get clobbered by Kansas City again. Just get absolutely smoked, 15-6. They beat the Guardians, Mariners. They tied with the Cubs, which I thought it was actually a very good game because the Cubs have been phenomenal this spring. I know it's just spring training. I'm not getting too hyped up about it, but it's getting in the groove a little bit. Then they lose to the Brewers. Then they beat the Diamondbacks, and then they play Kansas City tomorrow. I think what I'm seeing with the Rangers so far in spring training is, I'm just not happy with their pitching still. I know we're early. We haven't even started the regular season, but it's almost like we're carrying over from last year.
Yeah.
My opinion. I hope we're getting it all out. We're getting the jitters out. We're getting the bad out, because with what they have, they can still win that division potentially. Because we all talked about Houston's we don't think they're going to be good. Mariners probably will be pretty good. I think we picked them to get second outside the Rangers. So it's really, I think, between Texas and Seattle, but Seattle looks good too. I mean, they haven't played well in spring training, but Chicago has been phenomenal in spring training. I was trying to look at, here we go, Atlanta Braves. I mean, they're playing well too. Atlanta, I think I picked them to win it if I remember right. Kumar got rocked again.
Yeah. 4 runs in the first. Yeah.
I know, man. Like,
it's the pitching. Do they fix it? I think eventually. I just hope they get it fixed before when the season starts. I hope they get it fixed before they're too far.
Yeah, it's a long season, man. Yeah, it's a long season. I mean, we haven't even started the regular season. We're just in spring training, but this is where you figure out what you really need to work on and to get better at. And like, God dang, sorry, I'm looking at the score and it
was up 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're up 11 now. Now they're up. Okay, so he's up 13. I'm okay if I keep losing. I don't care. Give me Cooper Flag, please, or Ace Bailey. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just need the Rangers to figure this pitching out. Let's figure out what we need to do, whether it's what we have isn't working. Is it going to work? What do we need to do before the trade deadline? Can we get somebody off the market? Can we trade? I mean, it's never the batting to me. I mean, yes, you got to put points on the board. I get that. But we have Seager. We have I always forget that other guy's name. It's Seager. Who's the other one?
You got Simeon. You've got
Simeon. That's what I was talking about. We have Simeon.
Garcia.
You have Garcia. You have Josh Jung. I mean, they really have a team like that. They really do. They just got to get it figured out, and hopefully before it's too late.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. So was there anything off the top of your head that we have missed tonight?
No, we covered a lot. I mean,
we do have some exciting people coming on soon.
We got this next week.
Wednesday, I'm super excited. We have a hockey kid coming on. By the way, Derek, where's he from? I didn't even ask you that.
I think he's from Pennsylvania. Let me double check.
That's so cool.
I think. Let me double check on him real quick.
Again, dude, a sport I know nothing about, so I'm excited to learn a little bit, because I don't know much about hockey. I really don't. And when you
Illinois.
so cool though. Like,
Yeah.
so we have him
he's-
coming on
he's
Wednesday.
being recruited. When I was talking to his mom, Maryland is really high on him.
Wow, big
so-
D1 school.
Big D1. I don't know where he'll end up going. He said he's getting looked at by a bunch of people, but the mom said that was really high on Maryland was really high on him.
That's awesome.
Then Sunday we got a softball girl coming on.
Yes, JC's coming on. She's the first recruit out of Dangerfield in 17 years to play softball. So that is awesome. I'm excited about that.
Then the following week we have another baseball kid coming on the following Sunday night, the 16th. Nothing for the 12th or the 19th right now, so we'll try to fill that in, or we'll just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, we're still working on. There's a few people I'm working on. I've actually I wanted to speak with someone about this, about a person I want to bring on, because I don't want to think I'm stealing it from somebody. But there's someone I want to bring on. I need to talk to someone about it, and then I'll talk with you about it. But it'd be fun to have that person on.
I
excited
didn't tell you this. I'll pop it on there right now on live air. So I talked to. This has been.
Oh, don't forget the swimmer chick.
Well, yeah, I haven't.
We have her coming up soon. Soon, sometime. Yeah.
But Adrian Swanson was the starting punter for the Clemson Tigers. He has been at the combine, and he has spoken with teams saying he's going to get drafted anywhere from the 5th to the 7th round. He said after the draft, he's going to come on. He wants to wait because he's going to do some pro days. He's going to go work out for some teams. And that's kind of where his focus is right now.
Of course.
But he said after the draft, he definitely wants to come on. So that was
that's going to be. So we could have another. I know Trey was. He wasn't in the NFL at the time. He was in the UFL, but he was on. So we'd have our second. Pro
and to be a punter, something we've never had. Hadn't had a punter before.
I want to ask him who his favorite punter is. I hope he says Pat McAfee, because I love Pat McAfee.
Yes, I love Pat McAfee.
I love me some Pat McAfee. Michael said DeGrom, Idalve, Gray, Bradford, Malay, if they stay healthy. Yeah, it is. And you're right, Michael. The problem is
if they stay healthy.
None of these guys were healthy last year.
And we need to stop drinking the water in Dallas, because everybody gets hurt if they drink the Dallas water.
Yeah, that ain't no lie. So yeah, we have some good stuff coming up, guys. Something also, and I'm really bad about this, but I wanna put this up just in case we have people that are not. Guys, listen, if you don't follow us, or if you only follow one of our, whether it's social media, or if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever, or Apple Podcasts, whatever it might be, I'm going to leave this up for a minute or two. But if you'll scan this QR code, it will send you to all of our links, and you can follow us there. We'd appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube, liking all of our Facebook, X pages, going and following our TikTok and Twitch, and we're on everything. So we'd really appreciate it if y'all would like and subscribe and follow us on all these social medias. It really helps us grow. And as we want to grow as much as we can with what we're doing here. All right, Derek. I want to ask you 2 questions, and they're going to be actually, let me see, 3. All right.
Okay.
3 questions, and if you want me to answer them, I will as well. Who's winning it all for the women this year? College basketball. If you had to pick a team right now to win it all, who's going to win it?
Oh, UConn. Paige gets her one.
Okay. What about the boys?
I
know. Do it at you.
I think
it's so hard.
I think that's going to be a seeding type thing. But I'm gonna take St. John's.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Rick Pitino and St. John's.
Oh, I like it. All right, the NBA. Who's winning it?
Again, I think that's a matchup thing. But I don't care who comes out of the West. I think it's going to be Cleveland.
All right. I love it, man.
What you got?
In the NBA, I'm gonna go Denver.
I like that.
I just Jokic, man. Like it's the matchups, man. Again, it's kind of like what you said. The matchups will matter.
Yeah.
I love Cleveland, but when I look at Cleveland, who can match up with Jokic? Like I know Jarrett Allen's there, but he's hurt. He was hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. We all know that. Darius gone. Great. But I'm just looking at who can match up with.
And they just got Hunter as well. So that's kind of my they're deep in guard play. They real deep in bigs.
Right.
But I think guard play they're deep enough to where they can throw different mixture in there.
After I pick mine, I'm gonna pop up Michael's picks for all of them. He picked all three, and I mean I love it. Okay, so the girls, man, you already know I'm picking the Longhorns. I love them. They've looked great this year. We're number one in the AP poll for the first time in a long time. They're usually always up there, but they've looked great. I'm gonna pick the Longhorns the girls to finally get them one, and then on the men's, God, man, this is hard. I'm going Duke. I'm gonna go Duke. I'm gonna go Duke. I really love Auburn. I love Auburn. I love Alabama. I just think I like Duke, man. I don't know.
I will say this. I will say this. If North Carolina somehow wins the ACC, they'll win the national championship.
Really?
They'll go on a run like Kemba Walker did with UConn when they had to win the Big East tournament just to get into the tournament. They weren't even in it until they won the Big East tournament. And then they ended up winning the whole thing. So if North Carolina makes a run in the ACC tournament and wins it, they'll win the national championship.
I mean, that's correct. I love it.
Right now, they're the third team in the first four out.
So they've really got to win that. They really want to win that.
They either have to win the tournament, which would put them, I would say they would probably go from being out to a 10 seed, 11 seed. Or if they make a deep run in the ACC tournament, not maybe win 1 or 2 games, 3 games maybe, they could get to that 15-ish range, which that means first round you're looking at a St. John's, you're looking at a Houston, you're looking at a
tough
Alabama, Tennessee right out the gate. So if you can get past that, now you're making a run.
Right, I agree.
So
I'm gonna put up Michael's picks. He picked Cleveland to win the NBA championship, which I mean that's not a bad pick.
Right there.
He picked Duke, which I picked Duke, and he picked UCLA women's team.
Oh, UCLA girls, I like that.
That's a good pick too. I mean, that's what
I'm ready. I'm ready for the bracket to come out. I'm ready for the actual March Madness bracket. I'm ready to sit down on the live show with you guys, pick game by game, and run it all the way through.
Yeah, I'm going to fill mine out the night of the show. I'm not going to fill it out before. I'm going to do it.
I'm doing it as I'm going.
I'm gonna do it.
We might have to make it. We might have to make it a little interesting. The end of the tournament. Whoever has the most correct games maybe wins $20. Everybody,
I love it.
Or everybody pitch in like us and the Philly and
on time,
Casey and them. Everybody put in $20, and whoever has the most games correct, or if it's a tie, whoever gets closer to the championship score. Make it a little interesting.
I love it, dude. I'm so excited for March Madness. It's around the corner. We're a few weeks away from the bracket coming out, and it's exciting. Well, everyone, of course, we appreciate everyone tuning in. We love hanging out with everybody. We love everybody interacting, commenting with us, talking sports as always. Appreciate the sponsors. Again, if you don't follow us, again, go follow us on all of our socials. We're on everything: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. We're on everything, man. Just go follow us and keep up with us. And let's see. Michael said, "I'll make sure to film out here with y'all. My favorite time of the year, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so much fun, dude. I do it every year, and I do it by myself. And this will be the first year I've actually interacted with people and do it. Like sometimes I remember I would text my wife and be like, "Hey, who should I pick here?" And she just doesn't know. I'm like, "Okay, I'll pick that," because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because somehow my wife tends to pick
So I think
the
I
games,
told you.
but
Remember when Jimmy Buffett came out with the $1 million bracket? I picked that bracket that year. I got every single game correct except for the I want to say it was Louisville Duke semifinal game. And then I picked the championship. I picked it correct. I missed one game in the bracket for $1 million. That was like 2013, I think 13 or 12, something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it was the last game of the night. Like the first semifinal game when I was like, "Holy crap, dude!" Like I'm like shaking, my heart's racing. Like I'm one game away, and then they ended up losing. But the team that I picked ended up winning it. So had they have won, oh man,
Yeah,
it was wild.
Well, if you have nothing else.
No,
A
I
great
don't,
show.
man. Good. Yeah, great show.
Thanks for everybody coming in and hanging out with us. We'll be back Wednesday with our guest. I'm
AJ.
excited.
Yep.
AJ, excited to talk hockey with him. Learn a little bit more about hockey. I don't know much, so
I don't know
learn a bit
hardly
from him.
anything.
I'll talk about his journey and his recruiting process. And yeah, me neither. So it was kind of like when we had I can't remember her name on, but the one that played
Andrea.
lacrosse. That was Andrea. Yeah, learning lacrosse a little bit. So we'll be there for that. And then, like I said, Sunday we will have JC on to talk about softball and her recruiting and kind of how it feels to be the first person 17 years to be offered a scholarship from that school to play softball. So it's kind of what we have coming up. We have
And that's something right up the road, man. We could we could definitely make as a matter of fact, they're in Diana's district, so we might catch a game here in Diana and give her a shirt or something.
Let me know when they play in Diana. We'll come over there and watch them play. I'll bring my daughter. She
there you go.
Let me know when they play in Diana, and we'll go catch a game. All right. Well, everyone, again, appreciate for hanging out with us and interacting with us, and we will see everybody on Wednesday.
Yep. Later, buddy.
Later, man.